Alright, so here we are, back with game 2. We both drew a number of souls to start this one off as well. I have 2 and a hopper, and Gabe has the Awake Lost Soul again. So that's going to put us tied on souls with 3. Since Gabe won the first one, he said I get to pick who goes first. I feel good about my opening hand, so I decided to go first again and rescue with a little tiny musician. I am holding Faith of Moses' parents as backup for this.
My defense did not show up for me to start this game, so even a little guy like Heyman gets a free soul. And then John follows that up with what's going to be a draw 4, which that's kind of scary for me.
That is about as good as I could have pictured that first turn going.
Lawless Soul I decided to use on John. Not that there's any shortage of souls on the table right now, but I wanted to see if we could fish out some more, enough for me to just win this game with the souls on the table.
Think you can see it there?
No, we can see it on the other side.
So we see a bunch of my offense about to go underneath the deck, and I like seeing Falling Away there. I also see Bear, which is tempting. The soul goes out to play, and I am going to take that Falling Away, which Gabe's going to know about it, but there's not much that he can do about it, so that's just fine by me.
It's true. Unless you're truly having an evil character shortage, there's no reason not to take that Falling Away.
As it turns out, the only evil character I have is Doeg, but I feel okay about that.
Yeah, I put up the Thorns and Thistles since John has a territory class character again, and open up with the Joshua Captain combo. John does not have the Dull Soul this game, so I am pretty confident in going that route.
We're going to try this whole first striking thing again, see if it works out better for us this game.
Do I have any enhancements?
And I have Jail's Nail to open the game again, so that will take out Doeg.
Every time. There's nothing I can do about it. I should probably be playing more negates, I guess. I don't know.
Well, when you got big guys like Doeg, it's nice to have an interrupter negate to back him up.
It is, absolutely. I give a tap here, and we're off to the races. Gabe has a lot of offense on the table this early. I'm a little scared, but I'm about to draw 7 cards, so hopefully I can get something good. So I waffle my artifact, decided to play it face down. I'm just playing out some cards here. I'm pretty sure Gabe's not playing Mayhem from the first game, but it's still a little, I don't want to draw and then hit a Mayhem and be like, I just lost everything. So I play out my heroes, I play out an evil character before choosing what to do with my draw. I discard Faith of Rahab. Faith of Rahab is a fantastic battle winner, but it's conditional, and it's sometimes tricky to get it to set up properly.
Honestly, it's just good play to get some cards out of your hand before you draw more so that you don't set yourself up to take that big hit from Mayhem. So even if John thinks I'm not playing Mayhem, it's better to practice the way that you want to play. So I totally commend that.
I make the observation there for Gabe that his deck is protected from my Revealer Soul because of his crowds, so he does not reveal. I decide to activate that artifact that I laid down earlier. It's Honey from a Lion. I don't have an animal in my discard pile right now, but it's pretty easy to get one in there if I need to.
Yeah, there's plenty of ways to do that in case I wasn't going to help you in that.
Sure. We'll rescue.
So I rescue here with Daniel, and I believe I shuffle Faith of Rahab back in, just because one more battle winner is always worth it.
Lions is a genderless character, so Gomer cannot ban to the Lions. Not that would really matter because Daniel's protected from animals and it can't be negated.
It is.
Yes, he is. That said, I think Gabe's okay with that because he is playing Gib Trick here. Just going for a numbers board.
There's a male lion and a female lion.
I'm good with that.
Clearly depicted.
I'm good with that.
My initiative.
Absolutely.
And that'll work. Stalemate, can't be negated, is
6, 11.
exactly what we needed.
Yes.
And Daniel is 6'11". Would have been kind of cool if he had been blocked by an animal, because then he wouldn't have gained the /4.
All right, I'm feeling good about the Joshua Captain band. His Doeg couldn't swing it last turn, so I'm hoping to be able to just walk past what he has on defense and get a free soul here. He's trying to talk me into going with just Joshua. I'm not sure what he's up
Say you're
to.
holding bravery or
I was
something.
actually playing a little bit of Psychological Warfare. I've been holding
Play.
Scattered since turn 1, so I am totally okay with him blocking or rescuing that way. I block with Serpent because I don't want to risk that Lions to a Angel of the Lord, and I paralyze Deborah for 3 turns and get rid of his Powerhouse Rescue. I have just cleared his entire territory of heroes, so I just got 1 block and potentially got a block for the next turn if he doesn't have any more heroes floating in his hand.
Nope, definitely.
And here's where that card advantage John got early on in the game starts coming into play. He is picking up more of that, and look at our territories at this point. John is he's getting momentum.
Absolutely. This turn I pick up 2 more heroes and a battle winner, and I decide that I want to go get the Powerhouse. So I push out the Angel and go get the guy that I really want, which is Mr. Moses.
That looks like a music leader to me.
That is interesting.
Is that Music Leader?
Yes, that is a music leader that you grabbed.
Wow, I'm really bad at this game, Gabe.
No, so you're not. You just forgot what you were doing. So actually what had happened there is you thought about getting Moses, and you decided for music leader. I don't remember exactly what your logic was on that, though.
I think it was that I was so far ahead, I thought you were going to have to trigger searches and draws in order to get back into it, and I was just doing that to kind of stay ahead.
Yeah, it's possible you forgot about Thorns and Thistles because music leader is not going to work under the Thorns and Thistles.
Right. I honestly have no idea why I did that.
The world may never know.
That is true.
However, removing Gomer from the game is a nice play.
I am A-okay with that.
I have to waste my scattered on a lone hero.
But I am holding an interrupt, and it is not CBN because it's against that lone hero. So I'm now ignoring my Serpent, which is awesome because they're going to stay alive, come back to my territory, and I'm going to get to use them to block again.
Yeah, well played by John. He got rid of my evil character, he got to keep his own, and he got to take home the soul.
The only thing I did wrong was picking which hero to rescue with.
Possibly. There was a reason you did that at the time.
I know.
We just don't remember.
I'll have to think about it.
Well, I have a serious lack of heroes at this point. John has kind of dried me up. So best thing I can do is take back one of these souls and then pass the turn to John.
And so like I said earlier, I did set up 2 turns of blocks with just 1, play. I blocked with Serpent and played Scattered and took out every hero that Gabe had. That Deborah still got 2 turns sitting there on it. So he needs to get a couple good draws here to get back in this.
No. So that's 1 turn on him.
I observe my 1 turn upkeep on my Serpented character and decide to rescue with a musician band. I go Kenny and David. I take a peek at a couple of cards here. I see Second Coming, and I'm like, yep, those are going back on top. That's a pretty easy decision there. Doesn't really matter what the other 2 are.
Kanaya to David is such a strong play, especially considering I just used my Scattered last turn. I'd still have to burn 2 enhancements just to pull Scattered off, but Kanaya to David's a really good play.
Block with Little King Zed.
He blocks Zed. Dungeon's not going to work against them first off, but Gabe is pretty smart.
Interrupted discard Chinny.
I'm going to try and return the favor of John wiping out my heroes. That's going to cost me a couple more cards than it cost him, but I think I can pull it off.
So I start reaching for David thinking, oh, he's just going to win the battle, and Gabe stops me and says he's going to capture Daniel, and now I'm kind of worried.
It is.
And
And
rightfully
now
so.
I get to rip the plot. Rip.
Boom goes the dynamite. Gabe just took out 5 of my heroes in 1 block. It took him a few cards to do, but right now I do not have a hero that I can rescue with. So we are in the same boat now.
So I essentially got myself back in the game. John has 1 rescue. I have a tap over there, but John does have the Falling Away in his hand, so he's actually up by 1 on me right now.
So I feel like I'm still in the driver's seat a little bit. He just burned a lot of defense, and I am up a soul.
So I'll start with using David.
Now, sort of the spirit on David gives me the chance to take out one of his blockers before he even gets a chance to enter battle. I decide the Lion is the right choice in this case because Serpent has been used. And I also got to pull Joshua out of my deck to get that set up again to the Joshua to Captain band.
And by putting that animal in my discard pile, my honey's going to trigger. Of course, I was kind of planning on doing it myself anyway, so I'm about to go look at a ton of cards. I draw 2, and then I'm going to take my opportunity to play an Ultimate Enhancement, and I'm going to draw 3 more, because why not?
So John gets a draw 5, which is really strong. He is definitely drawn way more cards than I have this game, and he gets another card here.
Yep, so I get to look at 6 cards with Honey from a Lion, and so I see a lot of good cards, and I kind of wish I hadn't done it, because I would have drawn Son of God, Angel, and Moses next turn, which probably would have won me the game right there. As is, I grab Mayhem, which is going to set up a lot of nice plays in a couple turns here, because I'm also holding Hypocrisy.
Well, now
And Hypocrisy Mayhem is such a strong play. If you've never faced that, you are fortunate. It is a game changer, and that combo alone can win games.
We were in mutual. Gabe didn't have anything to play, so I played my disagreement and got rid of everything that he just set up.
it's just an enhancement in battle.
Correct.
So John's doing an amazing job of keeping my heroes off the table this game.
All right. When we come back, it will be your turn. I'm going to go 7.
So I pick up a couple of cards here,
You didn't have a nice
and
drawing.
I get to play down my Cloud of Witnesses. I'm pretty excited about that. It's going to start recurring some stuff for me. In an effort to keep getting Gabe's heroes off the table, I go ahead and activate Unholy Writ. I have gone through so much of my deck, and I have so many evil characters that are either in the discard pile or in my hand that I don't think Honey from Lion is really going to see much at this point. So it's way better to have that option to get a block there. I go ahead and make a rescue with Moses' parents, and Gabe makes a mistake.
Well, there's only one guy smaller than Moses' parents.
That's true enough. It is
I forgot that the parents work in battle. I have Thorns and Thistles up. It negates them in territory. Once they enter battle, their ability works, and they're protected from the first enhancement I play. So I cannot withdraw them with Give Us a King.
Which also transfers me initiative to play the Faith of Daniel. I have Lion's Den in play. Unfortunately, Lion's Den is not an up to or a may, so I have to discard my own Esau, which hurts quite a bit. I also don't even get the rescue because of Christian Martyr.
So I'm hanging in the game here by the skin of my teeth. I'm using a lot of my defense, though, and if that Moses comes out again, I'm going to be in big trouble because I've used up a lot of the ways I would be able to stop him.
So Deborah is untapped from Serpent now. I'm happy that Gabe's resting with her because that implies to me that she's pretty much his only option. So I debate here if I want to block and try to do something. At the end, I decide that playing Unholy Writ is the correct option.
Just debating what I want to do.
Give me
I
that
think
soul.
we will capture her before you get your treasures.
I make the observation, as Gabe and I are sitting there playing, that I want to use that before he has a counter to it. Treasures of War is a viable card in both of these defenses and makes those one-time use artifacts a lot weaker than they typically are.
Now, he puts his soul in the lion's den. That indicates to me that he has Faith of Rahab in his hand, and he intends to use it. I can't really think of any other reason you would put that soul in that particular site, not in Type 1.
Gabe is absolutely correct. I am telegraphing that I have it. You know, sometimes you could potentially do that as a bluff to make your opponent think about it. In this case, it is the full-on honest truth. I've got it. I'm not afraid to use it. I'm also going to go ahead and go get Moses, so I don't think I'm going to need to use it.
Yeah, he's run me out of defense. He's run me out of heroes at this point. He has outdrawn me by quite a bit, and that's got John a pretty good lead in this game.
Love it when Moses picks up freebies.
It's going to take a small miracle for me to get back in the game at this point.
It is. If you look, the territories are still kind of set up the same way. I've got 6 cards in mine. Gabe has 1 in his, and really it's not doing much for him besides keeping his lost souls active through Moses.
I don't have a lot to target with the shipwreck, but Cloud of Witnesses seems like a pretty good choice. It's going to allow John to get battle winners back, and I really don't need him reusing his battle winners at this point.
Absolutely. Cloud of Witness is another one of those new cards you have to remember the trigger on. In an earlier game, I'd actually missed a trigger, and I remarked to Gabe that I was going to remember the trigger. And Gabe's like, sorry, dude.
That will probably work.
Now, in this case, he had a strong block once again, thinking that I wouldn't be able to play anything through Sapphira, and he was correct, but I did have Angel of Lord to take her out.
That's okay. I was still holding that Falling Away from way back in turn 1, so I go ahead and take that soul right back.
Now that I know I don't have to fear Falling Away, I can use the Son of God in my hand to get the rescue I already have on his 3-liner.
Absolutely. So we traded 1 for 2, and we are all tied up.
Kind of. I've played Son of God. John has not played his Son of God NJ. And I don't have a lot of defense at this point.
That is absolutely correct. Even after that play, I really feel like I am in the driver's seat. I'm just going to keep pushing. I don't have anybody I want to convert, so I might as well flip that back up. If I see an evil card, great. If I don't, that's fine too. There's only about 8 cards in my deck right now.
That's true enough.
I recite a soul here to get that Faith of Rahab working again. I go ahead and do the same Crowd's Lost Soul. Moses worked last time. No reason to think he's not going to work this time.
Moses.
Yeah, and I'd used up my Can't Be Negated, my CBP, Battle Winners, my Christian Martyr. I am very low on things that can stop Moses at this point.
So here, I am at 3 souls. I haven't played Son of God. I haven't played Second Coming. I have a handful of cards, but I am also holding Mayhem. And so I take a second and see if I play Mayhem with an empty hand, will I draw what I need? I count there are in fact 8 cards in my deck, so I'm not going to draw all of them. But since Gabe can't win next turn, since he's only at 2 and can at most get to 4, I go ahead and play out the hand, trigger a bunch of effects, and then play the Mayhem and Toe. So I Hypocrisy his heroes back to his hand, because I'm a jerk like that. And then I play a bunch of dominance, and for some reason chose to use their effects instead of just discarding them. So I actually target a bunch of my own characters here. I take out a hero, I play Grapes for nothing, and then I take out an evil character because I'm just playing poorly. You should just discard those.
John's just being silly. He's being cute at this point. He knows he has the game in the bag, and he's got to get these cards out of his hand to increase his odds of drawing the Son of God and Second Coming. The way in which he does it probably has no bearing on this game. There's nothing I'm going to be able to do to come back and win, apart from getting like a confusion off or something, and there's very slim chance of that.
I shuffled back in Second Coming to my hand, so there's 9 cards, and I need to draw 6 of them, so there'll be 3 left. So I need to draw both Son of God and Second Coming here, or then I'll pick them up next turn. Either way, I'm going to win this game, and I see both of them. Son of God, Second Coming, and then put the Son of God back on top.
All right, so John definitely had the inertia a lot of that game, and inevitability was his. Very well played, John.
Absolutely. Great games, Gabe. It's always crazy when you're able to withstand a plot ripping in a game. Usually that card puts the other player up significantly, but I had so many good blocks early that it was more of a catch-up play on your part than a running away play.
Yeah, it was just trying to stay in the game. Sometimes plot can get you back in the game. In this particular game, it didn't quite cut it. The amount of cards that you drew was just phenomenal.
Absolutely. I had a draw off of Esau. I had my draw 4. I got to play Dream this game. I was way ahead.
Thank you for joining us. We hope you've enjoyed these games, and more importantly, we hope you get to enjoy some Cloud of Witnesses.
This has been a Land of Redemption production, sponsored by 3 Lions Gaming.